I am so excited to be here. Of course, it is I, Sig, prior commissioner to the LCUS, with our current commissioner and fearless leader. We have Trufflesaurus. Truffle, how you doing today?
You know, I am just incredibly happy we're here at the end of the week. Partly because I'm happy to be done with this week, but mostly because I'm looking forward to these playoff games that are getting started on Sunday. How about yourself, Sig?
I'm just riding high, man. Enjoying this Fallout 76 beta, and it reminds me a lot of the LCUS as it's bleak and optionless for me right now. So we'll see if maybe I can translate it into some better light. But let's hop right into this. Let's take a look at our first top VBot argument. That is, Von Hohenheim wins a third finals versus Ace 10. He needs to change them numbers. Makes a fourth finals. I'm gonna say this Phoenix roster right now is insane. Playing against them was like running into a brick wall. So I'm gonna give it to Von Hohenheim right now, and I think he's gonna walk away with the third finals.
I love that this is a repeat from the first week. Like I love this throwback. I'm gonna disagree with you, just like I did in the first week on my answer to this one. I'm gonna go bot. I think Ace is absolutely gonna make it to a fourth finals. Sorry to Nine Lives.
uh, we'll see. We'll see. But that does transition us very well to who will win the finals, old logo or new logo. I'm going to say old logo. That's a whole lot of weight. On these teams with option 12 performing as it did this entire split so well versus Phoenix who have found they're not just risen, they're burning the entire LCUS down from back to ashes. I'm going to go top, old logo.
I man, another great slide. Okay, let's see. I think I'm gonna agree with you. I think before I go any further, I absolutely think that Nine Lives and Blitzkrieg could both win this, win the finals, and make it to the finals and win finals. I think it is absolutely something that both teams could pull off. However, I'm going to say that it's probably a little bit more likely that 12 or Phoenix wins the final. So I'm gonna go top and agree with you on that one.
All right,
But
good.
oh,
Oh, you
what's
go ahead, homie.
I was just going to transition to the next one, which is what's the more likely final? Option 12 versus Blitzkrieg or Phoenix versus Nine Lives?
I am very excited to say that I don't have to say top this time, and I get to say bot. I think the most likely outcome will always have Phoenix in it. They they play very well, and I still, if there is a team that could take down Phoenix, it's non-lives because that bot lane is one of the most monstrous pairings that we've ever seen in the LCUS. Gregosaurus and Brandana, incredibly talented and talented in a way that they are individually talented, but when you put that kind of weight in the bot lane, it could very well counteract the pressure created mid and jungle by Von Hohenheim and Fat Leap, respectively. Where I I don't know if any other team could really generate that. So I'm going to say the most likely final is bot Phoenix versus Cloud9. Ooh, wow, projecting right there versus non lives.
I Yeah. Speaking of projecting, though, I think a huge portion of the Blitzkrieg versus Phoenix fight is going to be what mid lane can project their impact to the rest of the map better between Exia and Van Hohenheim. Um, and the reason I bring that up is because I'm basically trying to decide whether or not I think Phoenix losing to Blitzkrieg is more likely, or Nine Lives or Option 12 losing to Nine Lives is more likely, right? Like what's the more likely here? Um, I think that Nine Lives versus Phoenix is going to be my vote. Um, I think that these four teams are incredibly evenly matched, but I think it's just slightly more likely that Nine Lives is going to meet Phoenix in the finals.
I agree. I agree. Which again brings us to the question: this upcoming weekend, we got a rematch, and top versus bot. Is it going to be option 12, making it a 4-0, or uh, maybe a 3-1 versus Nine Lives that went 0-2 last week versus them? I think the better advantage, if we're looking at last week, is definitely going to be option 12. Uh, so I'm gonna say option 12 has the bigger advantage, but I don't think that necessarily is going to translate into a win. I still stand behind the bot lane for Nine Lives, and I think that they are going to perform better this time. I they were a dominant force throughout the split, so I think that'll translate well into a rematch.
So there's the question of what team has the advantage, and there's the question of what team is has gains more from that rematch, right?
Yes.
And I obviously last week option 12 had the advantage just between the two teams, right? Like that is how the results played out. But I know that Nine Lives. I haven't actually. I figuratively know that Nine Lives is sitting in practice this week going, okay, this is what didn't work, this is what did, we need to focus on this, we need to deal with that, we need to, whereas option 12, their practice is probably sounding more like, yeah, that worked, let's do it again, right? And I'm sure that they have more up their sleeves than just what they showed us, but I think that Nine Lives has more to gain on account of the fact that this is a rematch from last week, so I'm giving it to Nine Lives.
Fair, fair, very fair.
But what was a closer victory? Oh boy, I know this one. This is IG versus who were they playing? Was that RNG? Was that the base race? I think it was.
No, it was IG and KT. It was Invictus Gaming and KT.
That's right.
In game 3, doing a base race.
Or Gale Force versus White Wolf, which was also a fantastic base race. Honestly, I watched both. Both were incredibly close. Both were two of the hypest matches I've ever seen, and I'm gonna give it to Gale Force over Gale Force and White Wolf over professional play, because that was so incredibly close. And to have watched these teams grow over the course of a split, and to end at this close, I thought that was so great.
I could not agree more. The Gale Force White Wolf had more on. I won't say more on the line, but it was much closer as this was game 1 for them. So it wasn't a this is our last hope kind of thing. This was a we decide who controls the momentum going into this game too. So I'm gonna agree with you. Even if the outcome would have been different, I'm going Gale Force White Wolf. But most definitely. And that will bring us to our last one. Better strategy when down 0-1. Keep calm and try again, or try something new. You go first, sir. I'm gonna give you the benefit of answering this question first.
I have been on both sides of this numerous times, right? I mean, I've been 0-1 numerous times, right? Especially if you go back to the first split, but we don't talk about that. Um, uh, and honestly, it's so dependent on how you lost. Did you just execute super poorly? Well, maybe you had the right strategy. Maybe all you need to do is step back, say okay, and then try again. But if it's broke, please fix it. Also, so try something new is also very important. In terms of a better strategy in the LCUS, I'm going to go with keep calm and try again, because I think a lot of teams know what their style of play is, and I think drastically changing that, just because you had one bad go at it, that's your style. That you've specialized in that. You shouldn't drastically change it arbitrarily.
I see incredible value in what you're saying, but I'm going to suggest to all our listener friends out there, you're going to try something new. And let me tell you what you're going to try. you're going to try the Simple Soyman. The Simple Soyman has been bringing handcrafted soy and health foods to the Midwest for over 35 years. Find their products in the greater Milwaukee, Madison, and Chicago area, or visit them online at thesimplesoyman.com for a full list of stores. Sometimes you got to throw away the old and you got to try something new. So please, folks, check them out. They've been a wonderful sponsor. Next week is the last episode of Top V Bot. We've had an incredible journey with my apprentice, the current commissioner, and you have grown so much, Truffleson. So we will have to really take it to terms next week to see if the student can truly beat the master.
Oh, I look forward to it, Sig, because I think that I might just be the master now, but you know what? We're going to have to find out next week.